Talking about hope, a lot of Nigerians seems to have lost that hope in the country. Going by some of the macroeconomic situation we've been facing in the country, high inflation, the standard of living has deteriorated from what it used to be. Getting fuel now is now something that is now exclusive to those who can afford it, and not something that is for the general masses. With all of these things in place, do you really think that an average Nigerian should be looking forward to, should see the need to celebrate Nigeria's independence?
Yeah, it depends on how you are looking at it, or from where you're looking at it from. Yeah, like I have said earlier, once there is life, there is hope. So, but the issue there now is for the government of the day to actually show that form of empathy, not sympathize, empathy, show some humanity. Then Nigerians will know that yes, we are all in it together. You know, in the course of our nation history, we have seen ups, we have seen down. And I surely believe that this is not going to be our lowest. We are still going to rise again. But we must pay the price.
Indeed, a lot of price to pay. But let's shoot, especially looking at the stories coming up from the business world today. Topping them is President Bola Tinubu's presidential speech. The very first, of course, for the independence since they got into office. And he has talked about adding 25,000 naira to the minimum wage of junior federal workers. That's what he calls them, for the next 6 months. First, we have to define who these junior workers, federal workers, are. What are the criteria to select or to define these junior workers? And then the 25,000 naira, what do they cause an imbalance in the payment structure of these workers?
Okay, thank you very much. When I listened to the president's speech that yesterday, and at the point I was a little bit confused, you know, when he was saying low grade workers and all that, I was asking myself, okay, federal civil service, who are the low-grade workers?
Exactly.
You know, and of course, I know that the civil service has the structure. So they will know maybe
they have the grade 1,
2, and all that. So they will know which and which belongs to what he is talking about. I'm sure the ministries, that is federal civil service, they will know who and who qualify for this 25,000 increase. So I think they will take care of them. But again, we should not expect the president's speech to be elaborate. You know, it has to be precise. Though some persons have said is very unambiguous. I don't agree with them. It's a statement. It's now left for the ministries involved, you know,
to break it down.
Yes, to break it down and know those who actually fit into what the president is saying. But my concern has been with what happens to other workers.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't they cause an imbalance? Because if I was collecting, say, the 30,000 minimum wage before, now you add 25,000 to make it 55. What about those who are higher and maybe are collecting 40? They're higher than me, but they're getting lower.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The ministries involved, the civil service, they will know how to work it out. Yeah, because like you are saying, low grade, junior civil servant, you know, they have a level from level 1 to maybe level 6, 7, I don't know. That would be the, so, but you know, there's always a big difference between the payment. So those who qualify for this low grade, you know, maybe by the time, like you as I had the 25,000, it will not be up to those who are supposedly maybe the not the higher grade or maybe not low grade according to our president. But for me, the issue is not about increasing worker salary. I've always advocated that it is the value of our naira that is the most important thing, because again, being a personal finance expert, it's not the amount of money that you pay to the worker that is the issue. Is he able to manage that little that you pay to him? If you can even increase, say, minimum wage is 100,000 naira within a few months,
inflation.
Even without inflation, workers will still complain it's not enough.
Very true.
You know, I don't want to even tell you a little story, because we have done this quite for a very long time. Persons who were earning 100,000, oh no, if I worked in the bank and they pay me 300,000, you know, I'll be happy. They get to the bank, they are paid 300,000. After 2-3 months, they are not happy. Oh, if I work in the oil and gas, they get to oil and gas, they are paid so much money. Oh, they are not happy. Then they say, okay, if they were politicians. And they became politicians, and yet they are still saying not satisfied. So the issue is not the amount of money that you pay to an individual. So, and this is what the government's handlers should understand. engage experts, like people like us who are willing to serve. And workers need to be educated. Now, even the 25,000 you have increased, how are they going to make use of it optimally so that it will be able to cushion some of their effects? Because if not, 2-3 months we are going back to the status quo. Because they are told that for 6
months. Yeah.
What happened after 6 months?
Exactly. Good question.
Now, before we move to the next story, I have this question, begging for answer, and I do hope that you do justice to it. The president, during his electionary period, made mention that he's going to come up with a living wage for Nigerian workers, and I believe the Nigerian workers is referring to are those in the public service. Yes. Now, going by this latest development, we're seeing a 25% increase. Does that actually live up to the expectations Nigerian workers are looking out for, and the statements made by the president? Or is it that they are just playing games with us? What's your reaction to this?
Okay, I will agree with you. It's not up to that living wage. And you see, this is a desperate measure, because I'm not speaking for the president, but I know that the president has come to realize that the sufferings is glaring.
Yeah.
You can see it in the faces of Nigerians, in the way they talk, the way they speak, what they do, their utterances, their attitude to everything. And for the first time, he now realized that, I need to do something desperate. And that is why they came up with this 25, at least. Let's just use this one while we are still thinking of what to do. For me, this is just a short-term measure to try to, it's just like you want to go, there is a serious pain, and the doctor said before they go for it, so let them just give you something to just reduce that pain first, before they begin to assess.
Surface dressing.
Yes, and see what actually is your problem. Because for now, the government, I must say, still doesn't know what to do. So these are just temporary measures, and see what they can do later.
So still on the outcome of the fuel subsidy that has led to the increment in the provisional minimum wage increment by the federal government. The organized labor actually met with the federal government yesterday, and the outcome of the meeting was that there will be an increment from the 25,000 naira the president made mention of during his Independence Day broadcast to 35,000 naira. Now, this development has not in any way stopped the organized labor from embarking on its nationwide strike that they have earlier said will commence on the 3rd of October. That's tomorrow, 2023. Now, with this development in place, I actually watched where the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, saying that they can't take any decision now. They need to consult their members to know their next line of action, if they're to suspend the strike or still go ahead with the strike. Now, with this development in place, going by the agreement the federal government and the organized labor union actually had yesterday at their last-minute meeting, do you think that the labor union should shove their planned nationwide strike, or they should go ahead with it?
Yeah, let's say it's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Because the labor union has gotten to a stage where if they don't act, Nigerians will not take them serious.
Very true.
But again, you don't just strike for the sake of striking. Though they have said Nigerians will not become strikers. Because the medical people will strike, road transport will strike and all that. But I think both the labor union, the government, the average Nigerian, we all want Nigeria to move forward.
Very true.
We all want our quality of life to improve. Yes, I will blame the government in one side, because they have shown not to be too serious about it. It's that they were just for dragging and all that. All these issues. In fact, the president said it in his speech that some of these things we are going through, we should have gone past them long ago, But again, I must also commend the president, because if you look at that man, the man I saw that yesterday reading that speech, you could see a lot of emotions. The way he was reading the speech, you could see the way he was even dressed. He dressed to match, but at the same time to convey the message. So it tells you that the man has been going through a lot in terms of saying, I really want to do these things for my people, but how possible it is. So this is the time it needs all the support.
But Charles, please permit me to butt in here. The president, I can clearly remember, said that we should not pity him that is ready for the tax.
Okay.
So why are you sympathizing with him?
No, I'm not sympathizing with him, but saying that this is somebody who is showing a lot of empathy. Mind you, I'm not only brief for the government.
Okay.
But yes, he has said he applied for this job. He knows what he wants to do. it is in that process of knowing the gravity of the situation. That's why you are seeing him being a little bit empathetic to the average Nigerian. So for Labour, yes, Labour should go on with the strike. Let the government realize that it has gone beyond even the Nigerian Labour Congress. Because they have said they are going to get back to the average worker.
Yeah.
And if the average worker is saying, we can no longer take this.
Yeah.
But you are saying that they should go ahead with the strike.
Yes, they should go ahead with the strike.
Some analysts will tell you that this isn't the first time that Labour would be embarking on industrial actions without getting the needed results. And that most times when their palms get greased by the government, they go home and without achieving all of the demands that they are asking.
You know, when they talk of collective bargaining, industrial harmony, industrial peace, strike is the last resort. And if every other measures have been used by Labour, they are not getting what they want. Fine, we are seeing some concession. You are saying you have increased workers and salary, but that is one of the least of the Labour demand.